We've been contacted by scores of women who say they suffered because of the shortage of midwives. Leela's first days were spent in intensive care after an emergency C-section. Her mother left waiting hours for painkillers, desperate to see her baby, but no midwife had the time to help. 7 months on, she's still haunted.
It was just a lot to go through. And even now, I try not to think about it. I don't look at pictures from when she was born. You have to be your own caregiver. It was a lot of pressure. And then your baby's sick. There was no care. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was just looking after myself.
Madison was born at the side of a dual carriageway. The closest birth centre closed because of a lack of staff.
Her life was in danger due to the fact that my husband had delivered her. She didn't breathe straight away. If my husband didn't know what to do because of his first aid training, there might have been different circumstances.
ITV News has found during 6 months last year, more than half of midwife-led units in England that responded to our request for data had to temporarily shut because understaffing was an issue. In one case, 79 times, leaving some women in labour suddenly unable to have the birth they'd planned. And nearly half of the NHS trusts that replied had to divert pregnant women to other hospitals. The vast majority of those, 84%, said insufficient staffing was a factor. We showed our findings to Birthrights, a charity that campaigns to protect human rights in pregnancy and childbirth.
In UK law, everyone giving birth has the right to choose where and how they give birth, but these findings show that's just not the case for too many women and birthing people across the UK. The government have got to get a grip of the staffing crisis in maternity care.
It feels sometimes like a war zone, and actually maternity services shouldn't be like that.
But it's not just taking its toll on those giving birth.
You just end each shift feeling like you've failed people.
At one point, for this midwife, the stress felt too much.
The pressure just mounts constantly. It made me feel like, well, everything's just pointless here. So I decided to take an overdose. I feel that I am failing people, and yet I feel like I'm absolutely doing the best that I can.
The government says it's aiming to recruit more than 1,000 new midwives. But that's too late for these women. Rebecca Barry, News at 10.